This gentleman has hit radio like a storm. He is now heard on over 400 stations. On the Excellence in Broadcasting Network. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever I go in this country, and I travel 40 weeks a year, and I turn on my radio, and I hear this voice, and deservedly so, a breath of fresh air in radio. Please welcome Mr. Rush Limbaugh.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rush Limbaugh. I'm a man with whom you could and would totally trust your Miss Black Teenage America contestant daughter overnight in a Motel 6 while you're out with Mike Tyson. Whoa. People have been making fun of the, by the way, when Joe Piscopo came in with his, is it wife? Are you married?
Yes.
Fiancé. Bob lowered his zipper to half-mast. You think, whereas I think Bob would appreciate. In California, the school year has begun, and this actually happened. A California high school classroom, San Francisco, 75 kids. The teacher asks the class, "All right, class, I want to know who said, 'Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.'" And one hand went up. And it was a hand belonging to a young Japanese student, the only Japanese student in the class. The other 74 students were Native Americans. I don't mean Indians. I mean born and raised in the United States. The teachers can't believe that not one Native American student has any idea who said that. So he goes ballistic, excoriating the class. Finally, he says, "All right, young man, how long have you lived here?" The young Japanese child said, "I've been here 6 months." And you know the answer to the question, and none of the rest of you kids in this schoolroom do. "Who said it, young man? Who said it?" He said, "That's easy. It's John Kennedy in his 1961 inaugural address." I can't believe that not one of you American kids knows who said that. That one of the greatest presidents in the history of the class and history of the world. Somewhere in the middle of the room, somebody says, "Friggin' Jap." Teacher, who said that? I want to know right now who said it. We will not have that kind of talk in this class. And the voice yells back, "Harry Truman, 1945. Now I can't come before you tonight without, I can't speak before you tonight without talking about Senator Kennedy. Now again, I wish to say that this is a true story. Don't have to make it up about Senator. You know, it's a shame, too, because Senator Kennedy is the easiest laugh in America. It really takes no talent. Mention his name, and you generally get laughter. 2 years ago, it's summertime. He's off on vacation off the coast of South France. He's got a 22-year-old model with him. And they're on a speedboat, and the National Enquirer is out there on another speedboat, a real long telephoto lens, snapping photos. The New York Daily News published these photos. Series of 6. The first photo shows this lovely young model diving in. The next photo shows Senator Kennedy jumping in after her, which is unique, if you stop thinking about it. That's not the joke. The next 4 pictures show the people, a couple back in the boat. They're at various stages of making love. Somebody showed these pictures to Howell Heflin, Democratic senator from Alabama. And he looked at them. He said, "Well, it sure do look like the senator had done changed his position on offshore drilling." Now, I'm not a comedy writer. Don't say anything, Freddie. So I hired a guy that Jay Leno uses. When I was out in California, I told him as much about Bob as I could. And I even gave him the WABC listen line, so this guy who'd never heard about it, he could call Bob and listen to it. Listen to you. And wrote the following jokes. I don't proclaim them to be mine, but I'm just going to run them by you, and if they are funny, they're funny. If not, they're not mine. Let's see.
And if they're funny, I'll write them down.
Let's see. Bob Grant is such a conservative Republican that he uses a condom with a trickle-down supply side. Or sometimes he uses the George Bush French tickler. It has 1,000 points of pleasure. 2 Live Crew is dedicating their new album to Bob Grant. It's entitled As Ornery as He Wants to Be. This one I like. To protest apartheid, when Bob does his laundry, he doesn't separate the colors from the whites. I like that. I'm not saying that Bob is racist, but he wanted to go see the movie Boys in the Hood. He thought it was a Ku Klux Klan training film. Not many people know this, but Bob got an expensive hair transplant. It involved taking hair from his rear end and transplanting it to his head. Now he has to walk around with a sign that says, "This end up." And these are things that Bob Grant would change about America if he were president. Roe versus Wade would be your options for crossing a lake. There would be no quotas except in the NBA. Bob would eliminate unemployment by expanding the NBA to 500,000 teams. Flag burning. Bob would support it if Al Sharpton were wearing it. There would be no more handouts except for Paul Rubens. What are you people? What are you upset about this for? I mean, this gives funny people a genuine chance to make clever, funny things. I mean, he did it. He did it. Bob, you have meant and do mean so much to talk radio. You are a man who's paved the way for others to come along and do it. And Bob Grant took the hits early. Bob Grant has conditioned radio management across the country to tolerate controversy. And that is something that this industry needs if it is to thrive. You can't stifle opinion, regardless what it is. And as long as someone believes what they say and can back it up, that's all that should matter. That's responsibility, and Bob Grant epitomizes it, in my opinion. And I'm grateful for the contributions that you have made to talk radio. And I am grateful to be working on the same radio station as you do, because I think that gives me some credibility as well. You are the #1 radio talk show host in the largest city in the United States. Nobody else can say that. It is a very impressive thing, and it is something about which you should always be proud. I'm proud to know you, and I wish you 23 more years, or as long as you want to go. You are the best. Thank you.
Thank you, David.